गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय। हरि ओम। Today we will chant verse number 23 and then we will read verse number 24. आत्मानमीक्षेत परं प्रपश्येत् इत्यागमोक्ते सुलभो न भावः। नात्मैव दृश्यो यदि का कथेशे स्वयं तदन्नीभवनं तदीक्षा। स्वयं तदन्नीभवनं तदीक्षा। धिये प्रकाशं परमो वितीर्य स्वयं धियोऽन्तःप्रविभाति गुप्तः। धियं परावर्त्य धियोऽन्तरेऽत्र संयोजनान्नेश्वरदृष्टिरन्या। धिये प्रकाशं परमो वितीर्य स्वयं धियोऽन्तःप्रविभाति गुप्तः। धियं परावर्त्य धियोऽन्तरेऽत्र संयोजनान्नेश्वरदृष्टिरन्या। भगवान रमण महर्षि in verse number 22, 23 and again in 24 is talking about true Bhagavad Darshan, true darshan of Lord, how we can have Bhagavad Darshan in true sense. In last verse we have discussed that if we want to see Bhagavan, then we have to offer ourselves as a Naivedya. Tadanni bhavanam. What an expression. Generally we offer some prasad, some sweet or some fruit. But he says, if you want to realize God, you have to offer yourself. Become his food. May he swallow you. Here, the indirect meaning is, my ego should be surrendered at the altar of Bhagavan. The ego is the factor which divides one entity into two different entities. One Brahman, one consciousness appears as Jiva and Ishwar. Because of this ego, and ego is born out of ignorance. So here he says, if you merge your ego in Brahman, then that will be the real Bhagavad Darshan, real Brahma Darshan. If I see Bhagavan as some individual and he is different from me, then when he appears, then only I can see him. When he disappears, then I will miss him. But if I realize Bhagavan as my own self, then he is always with me. 24 hours, he will be with me. So in this way, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi explains beautifully that complete vision and the correct vision of Bhagavan is knowing him as our own self. Now in verse number 24, he says how one can meditate upon Bhagavan and can become one with Bhagavan. So here a technique of meditation has been given in one verse. He says, Dhiye prakasham paramo vitirya. He is not talking about the how one must sit and what time we must sit for meditation. Directly he is entering into the topic of meditation. He is not talking about preparation and other details. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna elaborately explained how one must sit on particular seat and how he should prepare himself. Here directly Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Dhiye prakasham paramo vitirya. Dhiye means intellect. To the intellect, paramaha prakasham vitirya. Parama means supreme. Its supreme consciousness bestow light to intellect. Intellect by itself is inert. It doesn't have capacity to illumine any object. Then question is, it is illuminating entire world. So from where it has got that capacity to illumine this world? So here Bhagavan says supreme, that consciousness is there. Consciousness is full of light. Light means awareness. Light means consciousness. Light here means knowledge. So now this consciousness gives its light to intellect. Intellect is enlivened by the consciousness. Consciousness lends its consciousness to intellect. Then that intellect becomes enlivened, and then it has got capacity to perceive objects and understand and think. So the Supreme, having distributed light to the intellect, himself shines. About consciousness, about God, he says, God has given its light to intellect. This is the one thing he did. And he himself is hiding behind that intellect. Now see, very interesting. Because of consciousness, intellect becomes sentient. But this consciousness doesn't proclaim that I have given life, I have given light to intellect. Consciousness is very shy, it is hiding behind intellect. Like we play, hide and seek. One person is hiding, then other person, try to see him, try to find him. Same way, consciousness is hiding behind intellect. Now intellect is searching. Where is consciousness? Where is God? Where is Lord? Intellect doesn't know that it is just behind him. That's why they said, Swayam Dhiyo Antah. Swayam, that Lord, our consciousness, our Brahman, is sitting Antah, inside, behind that intellect. Therefore, generally we say, Ghat bhitar dhundo. You must search Bhagwan. Where? In the heart. He is residing in the heart. He is sitting in the heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishti. In in Kaivalya Upanishad also says, Rutpundarikam virajam vishuddham vichinta madhye vishadam vishokam. Rutpundarikam. It is sitting in the heart. So if we want to realize God, we will have to turn our attention from outer world to the inner self. Because the truth is sitting here only. So Swayam Dhiyo Antah and Pravibhati Gupta. Pravibhati, that consciousness is shining. Vibhati, Pravibhati. But how it is shining? Not coming, outside, remaining inside, remaining behind the intellect, it is shining. Hiding itself behind intellect. Pravibhati Gupta is a Gupta. This consciousness is Gupta ji, you can say. In Hindi there are many surnames are there. So, consciousness is so subtle, subtler than intellect. It can never become object of intellect. It will always be substratum of intellect. It will provide its, sentiency to intellect. But intellect doesn't have capacity to objectify that consciousness. Consciousness will always be experienced as subject. That's why Pujya Gurudev always used to say that this Upanishadic knowledge is subject to science. It is not a study of some worldly object. It is study of subject. Subject means me. So Swayam Dhiyo Anta Pravibhati Gupta. Now, then how I can realize this consciousness if it is hiding behind intellect? So in the last two lines, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi gives us the method by which I can have vision of Lord. So what is the method? He says, Dhiyam paravartya dhiyo antah. Dhiyo antare. Dhiyam paravartya. Dhiyam means intellect. Having turned intellect inwards. Means when intellect is not going out through sense organs, but it has turned its attention from sense organ and sense object to the self, then one can realize Bhagavan. So Dhiyam Paravartya. When that intellect is turned inward, then what will happen? It will go to its source. See, intellect has got many thoughts. Thoughts are rising and falling and coming and going. And these thoughts, through these thoughts, we perceive objects. Because these thought formation takes place. When I see something, when I listen to something, thought formation takes place. And the object which is in this world is seen in the mind only. Consciousness is reflected in the mind or intellect and gets that ability to form thought, and in that thought we see many objects. our sense organs, through our sense organs, our mind goes out. Paranchi khani vyatrinat swayambhu tasmat parang pashtinantaratman. All sense organs, they are extrovert. And this mind, through sense organs, become extrovert. It travels in this world, and one after other different objects it perceives. And in this process, we forget completely ourself, our true self. So in meditation, what we do, we don't look at any object, we don't see anything, we don't listen anything, we don't eat anything, we don't taste anything, nothing. All sense organs are suspended. It is called pratyahar. They are not working that time. All sense organs are sitting on their seats only. The counters, they are called counters. And this mind, since all sense organs are not going out, mind also is not going out. At the seat of meditation, we try to turn our attention from this body and from this sense object to the self. So when we shift our attention of that thought or mind to the self, then what happens? That thought is merged. Very, very powerful exercise has been given in Kathopanishad. There Rishi says, Yached Vang Manasi Pradnya Tad Yached Jnanamatmani Jnanamatmani Mahati Niyached Tad Yached Shanta Atmani. It is actually an exercise. How one can go within, how one can become introvert. So there he says, Yached Vang Manasi Pradnya. Yached means merge. Merge all sense organs in the mind. Meaning, I must forget the existence of sense organs. My total focus should be on my mind. See, when we perceive sense object, then we are aware of sense organs. When I am seeing something, I am aware of my eyes. When I am listening to something, I am aware of my ears. But if I stop perceiving any object, and when my mind is not going out, then what will happen, Even I will not be aware of existence of sense organs. Only thoughts will be there. I will forget that I have got eyes or ears or nose or anything. Because I am not using them. When I use them, then I am aware of them. So I have got only mind now with me. So Yachedvang Manasi Pradnya. Pradnya means that seeker, learned seeker. He must do this. Merge all sense organs into the mind. Then he says, this mind should be merged in Jnanamatmani. Jnanatma. Jnanatma here means intellect. Merge in mind into intellect. So first merge sense organs into mind, then mind into intellect. Then Jnanamatmani Mahati Niyachet. This mind should be merged in total mind. Mind should be merged first in the intellect, and then intellect should be merged into total intellect. So sense organs are merged into mind, mind into the intellect, and that intellect should be merged into total intellect. It is called as Hiranyagarbha or Here it is said Mahat Tattva. And then I must merge that Mahat Tattva into Shanta Atmani, that pure consciousness, unconditional consciousness, where there is no upadhi, no conditioning, just pure awareness. So this is the process. These are all the steps given in our scriptures. But directly shortcut we can have. Mind should be merged. Mind has got many thoughts. Thoughts should be merged into the self. Try to see from where these thoughts are rising. What is the source? What is the adhishtan? First, I should become aware of my mind. This is the first step. That I have got one mind, one entity, which has got many thoughts. And these thoughts are of different nature. They are momentary in nature. They don't remain, one thought doesn't remain for hours together. It is only for a moment it comes and goes. Like waves, they are rising in the ocean. Same way from the consciousness, these thoughts are rising and falling. Generally, our attention is always on thoughts only. But when we are meditating, then our attempt should be to ignore thought and to focus on the source or the substratum or the support of the thought. Here Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says that only. Dhyam paravartya dhyo antaretra. Atra, here, in this mind, try to see what is the origin of this mind, how it is rising. And when I turn my attention from thought to myself, then what will happen? Sanyojanatneshvara drishtiranyam. Then the thought will be united to the consciousness. There will be union. Thoughts will join that consciousness, and then actually it loses its existence. Thought will be merged into this pure consciousness. And this union, this uniting of thought with the consciousness is actually vision of God. Na Ishvara Drushti Anya. The vision of the Lord takes place, and there is no other method by which we can have vision of God. So this is Antar Yatra. It is a journey within. Now see, one example Pujya Guruji has given in his commentary. He says that one bulb is there, electric bulb, and it is shining. There is a glow in that bulb. Now bulb by itself cannot have that light. That filament is there, and that filament is, glowing, shining. Now how that filament is shining? Because it is connected to wire, and that wire has got current. Electricity is there. So electricity is the cause for that light in that filament. So now this filament is like intellect, and current is like awareness or consciousness. Bulb by itself doesn't have any light, like intellect. And here it is said, it is Gupta, Vibhati Gupta. This awareness or consciousness shines and doesn't, it hides. It is shining behind that intellect, but always hiding. In the same way, we don't see current. We see that bulb, but the cause of that light is not bulb but the current. But that current is what? Hiding. Another example can be given that when clouds are there and that sun is hiding behind those clouds. Now clouds are seen because of the light of that sun. See, listen to it very carefully. We see that today we are not able to see sun. Why? Because so many clouds are there. But clouds themselves don't have any light. They are seen because of the light of that sun, which is hiding behind clouds. It is giving light to cloud and itself hiding behind. Now if we want to see where sun is, then we will go to that cloud which is shining. Means then we come to know, oh, sun is behind this cloud. So that cloud becomes a means to reach to sun. Same way here, these thoughts are there, and thoughts themselves, they are inert, but they are experienced as sentient thing. They have got capacity to illumine the things. So naturally the question comes, from where that capacity or ability has come to those thoughts. So when we go within those thoughts, then we come to know it is Chaitanya, consciousness. Since thoughts are very subtle and consciousness is also subtle, so thought is the best medium to reflect that consciousness. So if we observe our thought, then we can reach to consciousness also, because thought is the gateway, you can say. Thought is a window. If I go within those thoughts and inquire the source of those thoughts, then the thought will be merged and only consciousness will remain. So this is Ishvara Darshan. This is vision of Lord. There is no other method, he says. Na anya drishti. In this way only I can understand the existence of Lord. Now, this topic of, Bhagavad Darshan is over here. Now, in the next 3 verses, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of ego. Because of this ego, because of this I thought, I can't realize my true nature. This ego is an obstruction. When I understand its nature, then that obstacle will be removed. So very interesting, 3 verses are there. On ego only, on ahankar. That we will see in the next class. Today we will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.